My name is Jane Christos and I live in Truro in Cornwall. I am a carer for my aged father, my stepfather, of 90 years old, and unofficially for my daughter of 25 years old who has a mental health problem, which is an eating disorder, but it proved very difficult for me to look after both while I was working. So I left my work and returned to UK in September 2013. When we found ourselves in Truro, we found a camping site where we stayed for a few weeks while we looked for a house to rent. We went to the job centre and tried to sign on, my daughter and myself, but we were told very coldly that we could not sign on without our national insurance number, which I had lost. We were having problems as we couldn't get a bank account without an address, and we couldn't get a rented house unless we had UK refs and a bank account. So I packed up all our belongings one day and went to St Austell, the one-stop shop where I said my money was running out. I told them how much I had and I said I needed a place to live. Please help my family. And they were very helpful. They spoke to us, they spent a long time talking. They gave both Perla, my daughter, and myself our national insurance numbers. They gave us advice on how to find a house to rent. They gave us advice on what bank that would take us. They cared and they were very friendly, not like the Truro Job Centre, which made us feel like we were refugees. After finding a bank and a house to rent, we often went to Citizens Advice where they helped us with our problems with my father's pension, and my advisor suggested that I should apply for being a carer. My daughter has psychotic behaviour, screaming and shouting and hitting herself. 2 times a gentleman spoke to her for about an hour and a half. They calmed her down and they made her feel better. Sometimes I've been told to call the doctor, but the doctor is closed. And then they say to me, well, if she's at risk of damaging herself, call the police. Now I must say that the police force in Truro have been many times and they're excellent, absolutely excellent. But I don't really think it's a police job. When I went to the eating disorder, we met a gentleman. He was very nice and he talked very nicely and my daughter liked him very much. A couple of weeks later, we got an appointment. I would also like to say that they did an assessment of that day and practically the whole assessment was wrong. I don't know who they were listening to, but they didn't seem to be listening to my daughter. Janet Treasurer came to Athens and did a 3-day conference. I think if we could arrange an event like this going on, I think it would be absolutely amazing and be very, very helpful to all us adults and parents of children with problems. And it's not only eating disorders for girls, it's eating disorders for children, it's eating disorders for boys. Boys are affected just as much as girls. And I think it's important, actually. I feel all whatever, but I think if this could happen, this would be absolutely amazing. And I would help in any way I could, any way at all. Thank you very much for listening to me.